Hey, what's up? We're gonna talk about. I think we're gonna keep talking about San Antonio. Uh, I remember going to not in the last video we were talking about uh this party that I went to as a little kid. I was like 8 years old, and I won a costume. I had the red face, black paint, and the horns from Star Wars, and I won the competition. And another thing I remember is I used to go to Easter a lot over there. I have a picture from yesterday. I got it on my Tumblr. Uh, I remember my uncle cooking out a lot, and he used to always jam out to some throwback Tejano music. And forgot I was about to say the name, but I think it's like I forgot his name, but uh, he would always bring oysters and bean and cheese from a Mexican restaurant down the street. It was a well-known restaurant as far as uh, I know. I love that restaurant, man. I can still remember it, everything about it. Bean and cheese was really good. That's what we were stuck on like forever. They were like for fucking tortillas this big and shit, and they're just fucking perfect. But that was like my favorite times. Uh, what else? I think I tried an oyster for this first time too around that time. It wasn't that bad. I thought it was cool. And but so what else? So, SeaWorld. We used to go to SeaWorld a lot over there. And what else? I always remember those little fans that they had, and those are always good to have. Uh, I remember always being obsessed with the seals. Not the seals. The sea. I think they were seals. Yeah. The ones that have whiskers and shit, they're like sea lions. Yeah, I think those sea lions. And what else? I remember it was I think it was the same school that I went to, and uh, we were, if you it was like I remember the recess, and those basketball, uh, like it's not basketball, but if you throw the ball in, it comes out from four ways. I remember that with the chains and everything. Uh, I remember there was always a sign that pointed left to remind us where the street was. That sign was always like, that's just like how I knew I was about to be home. I was like always, it was like late night, always late nights and shit whenever I was already ready to go home and shit. But what else? I remember like San Antonio was really the only thing. Like in San Antonio, we did all kinds of shit there. Like everything I just spoke about. Those were just what we did on a very frequent, And then there was this place called Laguna. I mean, it's like a river stream that keeps going, and a lot of people go and they charge like for each car or something. And I think they had drive-in theaters there too, and we would do that often. I remember I actually almost drowned once on the little river stream, and some guy saved me. But I also remember that they had like this hole there. I don't know why I thought I can make it somewhere. I was a little badass and shit. But whenever there was a big old hole and because there's like a bridge that the stream goes through too, but there's like a tunnel, right? And people would always go through the tunnel, and I was always scared to go through that shit. I might have gone like one time once, but I can't remember honestly. Like I was always scared that I was gonna cut myself on those metal rods and just like get stuck and drown or stab myself like the Deep Blue Sea and shit. We watched a lot of scary movies back then too. I was into Chucky a lot. We were into Chucky. My little cousin hated Chucky. Uh, Chucky to this day is one of my favorites. Oysters are still my favorites. Fucking bean and cheese is still my favorite. Like we'll go to a Mexican restaurant and people are ordering like the fanciest shit, and I'm like bean and cheese. They're like, what? So we like puerco, they get all fancy, like let me put lechuga, they'll put like aguacate, they want everything and shit, and I'm just like bean and cheese. They're like, they don't get me and shit, but I'm like, I mean, I like everything else too, though, honestly. I ate everything else just to be cool. But down here, I was in Dallas before we left to San Antonio. The only things that I could remember was like, um, I can't remember first grade. I can remember being at those apartments that we used to stay in, and I remember there was always like this leak, and it was like water always dropping on the thing, and I always was amused by it for some reason. I was like, that shit was like the best thing to look at all day. It's like the best thing that happened in my life or some shit. And then like the neighbors too. I remember there was this girl. She was like a little half black and half white girl. She had like curly hair, and I think she was like my girlfriend or something. And we would play. And I remember around those times there was always parties that they threw, like for kids, I guess, for us. We had pictures and shit, but they were never really memorable. Like the only thing I remember is the thing on the leak and shit on the and the and the little girl next door. But as far as amusement goes, um, I also remember mm, being a little kid and going to the store with my mom and Batman. There was a little toy section, and I got the Batman. I put it under my stomach, and I was like, I'm full. And I was like, but I'm full, mom, but I'm full. And my mom ended up buying it for me. I was like, yeah, I thought I was slick and shit. But that shit was funny. Until to this day, I still like Batman. If y'all see my vlogs and shit, or if y'all seen the videos. Um, I remember Corpus Christi. I went like once with my ex-girlfriend, and it was like it was